on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombies. So today is Wednesday. Awesome to have you back on the channel. Thank you so much. If we have a look at what's going on, Coin360, they had a little bit of a interface upgrade. Okay, we'll take it. So Bitcoin is down 1%, although if we come over here to CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin's only down 0.1%. Okay, well, that being said, if you do notice, Bitcoin dominance still falling, which means the altcoins are feeling the love today. In particular, you'll notice that Ethereum is still maintaining its second place, whereas Litecoin has unfortunately been bumped out of fourth place by EOS. Now, if we have a look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Bitcoin Private up 34%, followed by MOAC 14%, Maker, Arc, Ravane, Komodo, Aeon, and Monero all doing quite well today. If we switch on over to the Bitcoin charts, we notice that not much has changed since yesterday. In fact, it's really starting to get boring, and you'll notice that the volume is dropping off, which, what does this mean? Well, usually when volume starts to drop off, we'll have these sort of massive moves out of nowhere. As you can see, the volume starts dropping off, pumps, right? So where are we going from here? I don't know, guys, but there's a chance we could Bart Simpson down, or there's a chance we can shoot up, all right? That's basically what we're looking at right here. It's pretty much do or die either way, so you will have to handle this accordingly. If you want more about how I feel about this current chart, check yesterday's video. I go into much more detail. Now, I wanted to talk about this article that came out November 1st in 2017. Now, this was exactly 1 month and 16 days before the crypto bubble actually did burst from the 20K all-time high for Bitcoin. And this came out, and it's really uncanny. I mean, this guy called it. In fact, I wanted to note this one section. It says, this is the reason why things like technical analysis work much better in crypto than in equities, because these markets are quite obviously more likely to be driven by fear and greed than established markets. So who am I referring to? Well, this guy right here, he goes by @DKE82, or you could just call him DK, and he pretty much called it, man. I mean, he saw this thing coming way before even Charlie Lee sold his Litecoin. So they go on and said, what are you most looking forward to see in the crypto space in 2019? And he said, less hype, less long Bitcoin, short bankers, less successful scamming, more regulation, and hopefully less FOMO induced from now so-called OGs, but that's probably a pipe dream. I'd love to see a fully fledged blockchain application that we would actually use daily emerge. Now, this guy is a fan of institutions, he is a fan of regulation, and he thinks that it's good for the space, and I think that realistically, this ultimate dream of the perfect decentralized world is probably not gonna happen anytime soon, so we have to take and give a little bit. So I do have to agree with him on that point. And then they asked him, are there any really bad examples of where cryptocurrencies are being implemented? And he goes on to say, any and all tokens that bear no security-like rights, meaning debt, profit participation, voting, or are securities but were not marketed as such, and all tokens that are not necessarily incentives of a decentralized network, right? He says, furthermore, there is a terrible practice widely spread among crypto hedge funds. Remember, we had this conversation yesterday. I've seen several documents directed at investors recently, and they've often shown a track record gross of fees, right? So it says before deducting their fees. That's basically what he's talking about. What's worse is that many are set up as liquid structures with redemption subscriptions quarterly, but they are marking illiquid ICO investments at cost. So that means that an investor redeeming today gets to transfer the loss on that position as markets tanked in between onto remaining investors. Worse, investors buying in now would buy that position at a price that may have been good 12 months ago, but now amounts to an almost certain loss. These kind of poor practices should stop. So between that and the types of coins he's referring to, once again, we have somebody pretty much outright saying that 95% of these tokens are garbage. That's what he's saying, and not the first time I've heard somebody say that about all the tokens out there, right? Now, this interesting article came out on Reddit from a particular user, and that's right, I made it rainbow colors because I can. Now, having a look at this, check this out. So basically, we know that what happens in the past isn't going to necessarily happen again. I just have to say that so everybody doesn't get super excited. But he was noticing patterns between an 85% reduction, 82% reduction, 85% reduction, and then you look at how long they lasted. You had 14 months, 7 months. This is where it closes above the all-time high, right? And then 14 months, etc. You can read this chart. I'm not going to go that much into it, but basically they think that the last time we hit the bottom took us 14 months to get there. Then there was a period of accumulation for over 9 months. It took us 41 months since the previous all-time high, which was at the time $1,200, which is crazy to think $1,200 was the all-time high, to actually close above it, and 49 months from the previous all-time high to establish a new one, the 20,000, right? So this is hypothetical. You can read this. You can check out the article. I'm not going to go into all the details, but let's say we apply similar logic to the present day scenario, all-time high being 20,000 established in December, plus a 14-month sell-off equals February, which is where we are right now, plus 9 months period of accumulation, which hopefully, we don't go down much lower, but if we do, I'm sure you guys will be more than happy to scoop that up. November 2019 plus 17 months, and then April 2021 to break above the all-time high USD, plus 9 months equals January 2022 to establish the new all-time high. So this is just some person's opinion. It's interesting to see them break it down. I honestly love entertaining these. They're fun because nobody knows, so it's always fun to see. Check this out. So according to this, new all-time high January 2020, and we break previous all-time high in April of 2021. That's what this person says based on past performance, which we know is a terrible indicator, right? Now, speaking on some people that are clearly always very bullish, we have Mike Novogratz. If you guys don't know by now who he is the former Goldman Sachs partner and founder of crypto merchant bank Galaxy Digital. Now, he's argued that Bitcoin occupies a very unique place in the crypto market landscape. In fact, he made remarks on Bloomberg TV just the other day. He says there's 118 elements on the periodic table, and only one is gold. Bitcoin is going to be digital gold, a place where you have sovereign money. It's not US money. It's not Chinese money. It's sovereign money. Sovereignty costs a lot, and it should. Bitcoin, which has recently settled around, between 3,400 and 3,600, is grinding along its bottom, but he does think that it could go a lot higher, saying that $8,000 is a feasible medium-term price. Nonetheless, he says we are not going to bubble back up. We are not going to see a moonshot straight up. It's going to be different this time. Slow accumulation. You know how that goes. Reflecting on the prolonged crypto winter, he definitely says that it has been painful, and it shows what it's like to deal with a bubble popping. And obviously, we've all dealt with that. Most of us have dealt with that. Maybe you're new to the channel and you got lucky and you're just getting in. But we have a lot of OGs around here that definitely got burned in the bubble popping. But it is all right, because we learned our lessons. I hope we learned our lessons, right? So, moving on, he also proposed that the industry as a whole is poised to undergo a structural shift from a people's revolution to an institutional one. That's to quote him. So he's for the institutions as well. He noted that critical infrastructure for institutional investors to become comfortable with crypto is gradually falling into place, albeit temporarily slowed by the recent government shutdown. We saw that screwed everything up with Bakkt and all these other, but there are a lot of custodial solutions coming. We talked about Bakkt, we talked about Fidelity, you already know about this. And also he says that his perspective is shared by established analysts such as Netherlands-based Big Four auditor KPMG, which last fall argued that institutionalization is the necessary next step for crypto to create trust and scale. And while many of us say we don't need the banks, or we don't need the institutions, I don't think we need the institutions per se. I mean, 2017 was a huge retail bubble, but at the same time, you're not going to get that other fraction, that other percentage, especially in established, developed type of nations, They're not going to do that if it's a very risk-adverse thing and there's not good custodial solutions. So you just got to be real about that. Also, I know absolutely nobody cares about the ETF, but why not just entertain the fact that Rick Edelman, a prominent financial market analyst and founder of Edelman Financial Services, has actually recently said that a Bitcoin ETF will certainly be launched. The SEC has several legitimate thought concerns that the industry has overcome, but he says, I am confident they will. Eventually, we will see a Bitcoin ETF, and it's at this stage I will be much more comfortable comfortable recommending that ordinary investors participate. He said it's virtually certain. The only question is when. So, you guys want to know where all this extra money is going to come from. Well, on one hand, we're saying, screw these guys. We don't need them. Okay, we don't need them. Okay, well, you know where I'm going with that. Basically, guys, there is a section, there is a niche, there is a percentage of people out there that will not get into this space unless they have these types of solutions. So just pointing that out there. Or maybe we don't need them in this space. I'll accumulate more for another year. A year, 2 years, I don't care. So anyway, let's get off of the price and stuff like that and institutions. Let's talk about the actual fundamentals. Right, guys? The exciting part. We love talking about the fundamentals, right? Of course we do. The latest data from blockchain.com shows that February 12, 2019 saw an average block size of 1.305 megabytes, the biggest on record. In fact, the blocks mined approximately every 10 minutes if you sent a Bitcoin today by the Bitcoin network are now regularly bigger than 1 megabyte. This was the previous limit that existed before segregated witness, or SegWit, which was introduced in August of 2017. If you don't know what SegWit is, or you don't know if you have a SegWit address, well, look at your address that you're sending it from. Does it start with a 1 or does it start with a 3? If it starts with a 1, you're not using SegWit. If it starts with a 3, you're most likely using SegWit. Now, let's move on and see. So with the introduction of SegWit, the concept of block size has been replaced by block weight, which does allow up to 4 megabytes of capacity, which is around 40% of all Bitcoin transactions today that are actually using SegWit. Interesting. I don't know why some people still haven't upgraded personally, but maybe it's a philosophical thing, right? I've heard some people say, that's not Satoshi's vision. Okay. Anyway, what's more, SegWit opened up the possibility for off-chain scaling solutions such as Lightning Network, which we've obviously seen has been growing at rapid pace. So, what the heck is this about? Bitcoin core developer Luke Dash Jr. has once again sparked controversy with his idea to shrink the Bitcoin block size down to 300 kilobytes. Now, I have to admit, although maybe I don't truly understand what's going on, I will admit I'm not a developer, guys. This confuses me a bit. I don't understand when you've seen all these other guys having this big concern about raising the block size, right? I mean, clearly that was one of the biggest concerns over Bitcoin Cash outside of the SegWit implementation. They had the 8 megabyte block size originally. And then obviously Bitcoin SV has I don't even know what they have, a tremendous amount right now. But this is very interesting. So they want to shrink it. Why do they want to shrink it? Well, it says this patch would enforce a very simple soft fork. So not a hard fork, a soft fork, okay? Which means, no, you're not going to get 2 coins. Although you could, which is the interesting part, which is why some people are pissed. But you're not supposed to. Ideally, you're just supposed to sort of forget about, that orphaned chain. But if we were to reduce the block size, this would affect us between August 1st and December 31st. It demonstrates how one can make a truly temporary soft fork. The developer explained that do not run this in production even if you support the user activated soft fork. Then you have him saying there is never any guarantee. We need to reduce the block size just to have a realistic hope of it remaining feasible and becoming practical again. The blockchain is already bigger than most people are willing to tolerate, and the situation is getting worse and worse. If you don't know what he's referring to, well, the blockchain is a chain of blocks, and it keeps making new blocks, and the old blocks don't disappear. So when you want to download, an official node or something, or you want to actually download the blockchain, well, the blockchain gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes by, and it starts to really get almost unreasonably large, right? So 3 days later, you had Bitrefill's John Carvalho. I know the guy. I know that guy. He was the guy that interviewed Roger Ver when he did the rage quit. Remember, he kept calling it Bcash. So he told his followers that the Dash Jr.'s plan was something he could get behind. He said, "I agree with Luke Dash Jr. that the block size should be smaller. I feel more confident saying it now that we have Lightning Network making strides." So that's sort of their thing, right? Now that we have Lightning Network, we're focusing on second layer transaction solutions, whereas the settlement layer would just be the Bitcoin network, right? Or Bitcoin itself, right? Which I get. I mean, if you go out and you buy gold, and I'm not talking about jewelry, I mean actual gold, are you going and actually going to the place and taking home a chunk of gold with you? No, you're just you're just basically buying it and they're saying, yeah, no, it's cool. We got it in reserves. You know, you own it. It's great. You want a debit card? Here, spend some, right? So you're not actually being physically handed the gold. And I guess the way that they're seeing it is that maybe in their vision, Bitcoin would be better suited as just like on Lightning, whereas Bitcoin itself becomes that clunky old gold that you don't hand back and forth. Some people argue that you can use Bitcoin Cash or potentially Bitcoin SV for on-chain, whereas Bitcoin would be more off-chain Lightning. However, we know right now Lightning's network, their capacity is not high enough, so this argument can go round and round and round and round in circles. I'm very interested to see what you guys think about this. Actually, Cobra, the anonymous owner of Bitcoin.org, he wants this discussion to end and has asked the community to stop the madness. In fact, he says a soft fork to reduce block size is a hard fork in all but name, and this will split off from the established consensus, causing massive drama and damage trust in Bitcoin. Once again, it seems certain cryptocurrency proponents are all about high on-chain fees due to their distrust for miners and the hope that the Lightning Network will work as well as Nakamoto consensus. Also, not to mention, yes, it's supposed to be a soft fork, but you know what? All it takes is a group of people to latch on to that and be like, you know what? We like that one better. And then boom, we have another freaking altcoin, guys. That's just what we need, right? Another Bitcoin spinoff. So let me know what you think about this below, guys. Now, I want to talk about something that was really awesome, though, you know, aside from what you guys feel about Lightning and Bitcoin being slow. Check this out. So obviously, fears over government interference and internet surveillance have given rise to some novel experiments in sending offline transactions, as someone has transmitted Bitcoin internationally, get this, by high frequency radio during a snowstorm. Just to make it that much better, right? So using a practical application called JS8 Call, designed for sending text strings over radio frequencies, and a pre-configured brain wallet. What is a brain wallet? A brain wallet is basically, you know, those 24 words that you wrote down when you got your ledger? Well, you memorize them, essentially, which is like the safest thing to do realistically. I mean, because then you don't have to worry about a paper trail. You know, my private key is in my head. Come at me, bro, right? But anyway, so this is what they did, and they were able to send a Bitcoin transaction all the way from Toronto, Canada to Michigan, USA. And this is by this guy Novak on Twitter. It says, Bitcoin sent over national borders without internet or satellite, just nature's ionosphere. Actually, that was Nick Szabo that said that. So getting back to Novak, he notes that a poorly constructed brain wallet has safety issues. Obviously, if you forget it, if you forget a word, you're done, right? You're not getting your money back. So that's why that's a little risky to do that. But anyway, the use of high-frequency radio is another novelty which could easily become a necessity in certain circumstances. Government attempts to control the internet are spreading from China, as we know, with the crazy firewall. There's also rumors that are circling that Russia's planning to test a separation from the global internet. Like, they're going to shut the internet off to see if, like, they could survive without it or what. I don't know. That's just some rumors we've been hearing, right? And we've also watched plenty of post-apocalyptic movies where the only remaining method of communication is HF radio. So he also points that encrypted communication is not permitted over amateur radio unless the, cipher is public. But he goes on to say that I think those kind of rules kind of go out the window in an apocalypse or anything like that. So, yeah, really awesome. So, guys, anyone that says the Bitcoin network can be killed by shutting down the internet, you are mistaken, because Bitcoin will survive, and if we have to, we'll just use the radio. All right, moving on. Users of Coinbase Wallet can now back up their private keys on Google Drive or iCloud. So Coinbase has stated that allowing users to upload their keys to a cloud provides a safeguard, does it, against lost keys, which will help them avoid losing funds should the keys be misplaced. The announcement says the private keys generated and stored on your mobile device are the only way to access your funds on the blockchain. Owners of user-controlled wallets like Coinbase Wallet sometimes lose their devices or fail to back up their 12-word recovery phrase in a safe place, thus losing funds forever. Now users of Coinbase Wallet can store an encrypted copy of the recovery phrase on their cloud accounts. Coinbase notes that neither they nor the cloud services will have access to user funds, as recovery phrase key is unlocked by a password known only to the user. If you want to do this and your password is strong and you trust this and you think this is a good idea, go for it. But why? Why would you ever want to store your private key or your encrypted whatever on the cloud? Why would you do that? I would personally not recommend this, guys. It sounds like they're trying to help people out. I get it. People don't want to be responsible for their own money. But, you know, as Jesse Powell said, he says, and this is the CEO of Kraken, he says, I'm not a fan of training users on bad security. Cloud storage, while convenient, is constantly compromised, especially with all the SIM porting. 99% chance the people who would unwittingly use this do not have passwords strong enough to withstand professional cracking. Sorry for your loss. So yeah, guys, do I recommend you use this service? Absolutely not. If you have to, fine. I just think you should just buy a ledger or just keep your seed phrase safer. I don't know. I don't think you should put it on the cloud, but you do what you want, guys. Speaking of exchanges, I cannot believe we're still talking about Quadriga. So you know that they already owe their customers $190 US, 250 Canadian dollars. Well, it looks like they have now lost another 500,000 Canadian dollars by mistake. You cannot make this stuff up unless this is just part of the scam that is continuing. In an initial report published Tuesday on Quadriga's progress since it filed for creditor. Sorry guys, just got to write a note down here real quick. Since it my bad. I know I just had a thought and I had to jot it down. So basically, yeah, they sent this money and they lost the funds. So this is crazy. And now this is more than what was initially lost to begin with. So the company previously said that it was unable to access the cold wallets because its CEO Gerald Cotton, who died while traveling in India in December, was the only one who knew where the private keys were. So now you have court-appointed monitor Ernst & Young said that the company accidentally has moved more than 100 Bitcoin into cold storage wallets and it cannot access it. So it says now that Ernst & Young will take control of the exchange's remaining hot wallet funds by transferring the cryptocurrencies into the professional services firm's own cold storage wallet. But at this point, we had $250 million in Canadian dollars, and now we have 500,000 extra, so now we have a grand total of 750 million total. This is an absolute mess. This is just a lost cause at this point. I hope something good comes out of this, but at this point, I'm just throwing in the towel on this one. We'll just have to see what the authorities pretty much uncover at this point. So also, guys, speaking about, Mr. Satoshi, well, Amaury Sachet has come out and said, hey, guys, just kidding, I'm not Satoshi. Okay, we kind of knew that. So it was a joke, and it looks like he says that this was a demonstration of what other scammers have done in the past. To clarify, he says that Craig Wright and others have made false claims to the throne of Satoshi Nakamoto. As Gregory Maxwell once explained on Stack Exchange, it's sadly pretty easily done, right? So it was demonstrated, it was a demonstration of what other scammers have done. It takes the wind out of their sails, and Craig Wrights and others before him, and he thinks that more will do this as well. So he was pretty much just being like, hey, other people have said it, so look, I'm Satoshi too, haha, right? So we kind of knew it was a joke. It really came out of left field to even assume that that was the truth, but just figured we'd report on it anyway. Also, there seems to be these Twitter bot scams going around telling people that XRP's team of developers have quit. As you can see right here, this is the same profile, same account, and they just keep sending the same message. Hey, I saw you follow XRP Twitter, so I think you may need to know this. The dev team is quitting to create another project. Lots of different people have received this, so it's clearly a bot. Just ignore this. I don't know what this is all about. But speaking about something that actually is happening, you have global remittance giant Western Union says it's preparing for crypto to go mainstream. In an interview with the general manager, Asia Pacific Molly Shea says customers expect extreme efficiency in the digital age, and payment platforms need to do everything they can to stay ahead of the game. This is true. We live in an era where literally, if it's like not here in 2 seconds and it takes 10 seconds, we're like, this is a piece of crap. You said it would take 2 seconds. It took 10 seconds. I want my money back. They say our customers really expect seamless, connected service, not just fast. They're expecting everything to be as fast as what they're already getting. So we've got to be able to stay ahead and foresee what people's expectations are going to be moving forward. When you think about cryptocurrencies, if those start to take off, we need to be ready. We need to be ready from a technology perspective. In addition, they confirm that they are continuing to test Ripple's suite of payment solutions. They've been exploring XRapid, and utilizing the digital asset XRP. Now, as you guys know, they said originally they weren't happy with it, but they hadn't done a lot of tests, so currently they are doing some more. And finally, in the final bit of XRP news, 3 different stories today, we do have Binance adding the feature to purchase XRP directly with credit cards. Previously, you could only have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Now they've added XRP after the community has asked for this. However, I am still hearing from a lot of different people. Obviously, I can't use it. I'm US. And I'm New York, which is like a double whammy, but they're saying the fees are too damn high. So looks like if they don't start coming down with the fees, well, then that can, continue. Also, for all of you Mimble, Wimble, and privacy fans out there who love to speculate on all these privacy coins, we have 0 confidential transactions. Now, this is being posted by the founder of Navcoin. If you'd like to come over here and look into what this is all about, you can have fun with that, but that's about all I'm going into this for today. Also want to talk about the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. They are boarding the tokenization train. So, the 385-member standard body plans to form a token task force this year. Executive Director Ron Resnick said the group will work on a they will work on a specification for tokens that run on top of Ethereum and private blockchains based on it with business uses in mind. So the task force will do this not only for assets whose units are interchangeable with one another, for example, shares in corporations or blockchain representations of fiat currency, etc., but also for individual tokens with unique properties such as collectibles like crypto kitties and things of that nature. They say we're creating a token task force. We'll do this the first half of this year. It's going to be focused on fungible ERC20 and non-fungible ERC721s. They say we want to create a token specification standard for enterprise tokenization, so basically all assets can be managed in a much better way with better assurance of what is happening. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, rewind to about a year ago, I wasn't a fan of tokenizing everything. I didn't understand it. Didn't make sense to me, right? But inevitably, it might happen. The thing is, we need to realize that as all these different things begin to get tokenized, not all of them are going to be great investments. Some of them are going to be, specifically for people just dealing with, registering land. Some of them may just be, coupons for mom and pop shops, little, almost like intranets of, ecosystems for these tokens. So that's just something to consider moving forward, but I do want to mention that. Also, we have Celsius partnering with Monarch to enable in-wallet interest earnings on crypto. If you guys don't know Monarch Wallet, the one really cool thing about them is that you do own your private keys on Monarch Wallet, which is something that I can get behind because I believe you should own your private keys. So this partnership will aim to empower the crypto community to stabilize the market by earning passive income. So as we know, if you guys put your money in a bank, what are you going to get? 1%, if that. And then, on top of inflation, what are you really making, right? So it says over the last 6 months, the Celsius wallet, which pays 3 to 7% in weekly interest on the top 10 coins, has proven itself to be the leading interest earning platform for cryptocurrency. So now Celsius is white labeling its services within the Monarch wallet so crypto holders can earn interest on their assets through a savings account featured on Monarch's platform. So this is pretty cool. I mean, if your money's just going to sit there anyway, why not make percentage on it, right? So the integration will enable users to earn 3 to 7% in interest paid out weekly, providing passive income much higher than today's banks. I just said that. Unlike banks or other crypto options, which require lockup periods ranging from 6 months to 1 year, Celsius allows users to access and withdraw their funds at any time. So you don't have to actually lock up your money, which is cool. Furthermore, they said that it will pay depositors 80% of its revenue and gives individuals more transparent and direct control over how their funds are used. So this is definitely awesome. If you guys want to watch this interview with Crypto Beatles and Alex Machinsky, you can. And also, guys, we have Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, Japan's largest financial group in the world. I'm sorry, wait, it's Japan's largest financial group and the world's 5th largest bank by assets, is launching a blockchain-based payment network next year called the Global Open Network. The system will be capable of processing over 1 million transactions per second. We also have prestigious United States Public School University of California, Berkeley, UC Berkeley, has launched a 12-year accelerator program for early-stage blockchain startups. They say with such a nascent technology as blockchain, we see that a lot of subject matter experts experts and people making an impact in the blockchain space and all these different, students and stuff. So basically, they say they're striving to foster the entrepreneurial spirit within their students. The accelerator program is reportedly open to blockchain projects globally. The selected participants will be mentored by entrepreneurs, alumni, faculty, investors, and students as they prepare for demo day at the program's close, underscoring its multi-pronged approach to promoting blockchain and cryptocurrency education. And if that's not enough to make you happy, check out this barbershop that is currently accepting crypto. Congratulations, guys. So that's it for me today. If you guys want, we're still doing this PIVX Swag Bag giveaway. You could scan this token or scan this barcode right here, or I'll drop the link below. And as usual, I want to say thank you to everyone that's been using the referral links, getting yourself a Ledger Nano S or X, and keeping your crypto safe by using mine. You help support the channel, and it doesn't cost a thing. And that being said, I want to say thank you so much to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. You guys freaking rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. I swear if it wasn't for you, I don't know that I'd have as much energy to get up and do this. I really do appreciate all of your support, all of your comments, everyone that keeps coming back to the channel, everyone that keeps dropping comments below, joining my free Telegram group just to talk and hang out for fun. You guys are the best. Seriously, I love you. Really do. That being said, my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.